Hi, my name's Mike and I make videos of my allotment and the occasional woodworking programme. Further to my last upload, I received a comment from a regular subscriber or commenter, if that's the right word, and she said that it would help if I just did a plot tour which took us round the allotment and showed us what had happened during the week, and then at home put in some of those pictures that I draw or sketches that she's seen in the last upload. And this was also endorsed by another subscriber as well who agreed. Well, I've given it a lot of thought and it's not really easy because the pictures I draw are really just for me alone. They're my script and I find that pictures are easier to read from than writing, and I'll just show you what I've been using right now to do this introduction. So I'll on the camera. Come on. Now I can see you. I'll count up to 7 seconds. But as I say, I know what I've drawn because I drew it. But to transmit this information to somebody else, or to you, my viewers, it'd have to be presented a bit more professional. And for that, I would use the chalkboard. And I shall now repeat my narrative introduction. Hi. My name's Mike and I make videos of my allotment and the occasional woodworking programme. Further to my last upload, I received a comment from a regular subscriber or commenter, if that's the right word, and she said that it would help if I just did a plot tour which took us round the allotment and showed us what had happened during the week, and then at home put in some of those pictures that I draw or sketches that she's seen in the last upload. These are the onions. We saw these last week. We've got another escape up there with one of the red onions this time. Again, the weeds are still a problem, mainly that bindweed, the curse of bindweed. But the onions still aren't doing badly in this bed. But the carrots aren't doing so well. In fact, they're a bit of rubbish at the moment. So that's bed 14. Passing on to bed 13. These are the runners which I planted earlier. Yes, they're not doing too bad and I'm not allowing them to flower. Except there's one there. Let's deal with that. We don't want these strawberries wasting their energy on growing fruits. We want them to grow into decent plants. Oh dear. Look, there's another one. Let's deal with that. Well, that's the best I can do anyway. Right, we come to bed 13. Past the potatoes from raised bed 9 on the way, and we settle here at bed 13, which is the French dwarf beans. Flowers will be arriving soon. You can see the buds just forming on the tips, so we should have some flowers fairly soon now. Here are the potatoes from bed 9. Now normally I would show a reveal, but at the moment it's raining and I didn't want to set the camera up in the rain. It's a reasonable harvest and it's this year's first potato reveal. Here we go with the strawberries. We've said a lot about the strawberries. This weather and this rain that we've got, it is making them soft, and so I've thrown more away than what I actually harvest. But even then, I'm harvesting about 2 punnets in a week. As I said, you've got to harvest them pretty quick, and that's why I'm here mainly today, to pick a load more. Right, that's bed 10 done with. We now go on to bed 11. This is bed 11, which is mainly brassicas, and these are the brassicas I planted before the harsh frost we got early in the year. And they are slowly making progress. You see that? And I lost one just over there. Generally speaking, they're doing okay. And the curly kale is doing well. We've had a few pickings from that, and I do like curly kale. We pass bed 12 very quickly. This is supposed to be the runner beans. I was supposed to have planted those last week, but it'll have to be sometime this week, which will be shown next week if you get my drift. But it's not been possible to do them this week due to this rain, and we've had some pretty bad days of rain, or good days, depending how you look at it. And of course, the circumstances at home haven't helped at all. Now we'll move down and move across the plot to raised bed 7, which is rhubarb. And that really is doing well. Due mainly to the rain, it's had plenty of water, which is what you need for freshly planted rhubarb. And my daughter has picked one or two, and I said, hey, don't do that, it's not ready yet. But looking at them now, it certainly is ready. I think I've got 8 plants, and I could pick one stick from each plant, and it won't make the slightest bit of difference to the value of this crop. Broad beans are still doing okay. The phase planting that I took out to give me succession, it's not really worked because these plants here are now putting on fairly sized pods, and the ones that are supposed to be autumn harvesting broad beans, they're producing beans now. So they're working out the catch up. I should have really sown them much later. And the bindweed is here as well. Look at this one, it's getting strangled. First chance I get, I'm going to come down, I'm going to pick all these and freeze them. That's the only way with broad beans to overcome a glut. Broad beans is bed 6. And just before I go, before I'll leave bed 6, I just want to look and see if the rats have caused any more damage. And I don't think oh yes they have. Right down there, bottom left hand corner, you can see I've got some rat damage. That's new. Oh well, problem is that they're using the trellising I put to support the beans as a means of getting up to them under cover without being seen by predators. Normally I have a screen round that to protect the beans from the wind. Unfortunately, I set fire to it by accident last year and it just went up in flames. Poof. And that was it. So I'll have to buy another one. So that's bed. We're now on to 6, which is the beetroot. And the beetroot are doing quite fine, but the ones that have just had water, the ones that haven't been treated, have started forming the bulbs at the bottom. And if we just work our way around to the other side, to the ones that have been treated, every one of those has started to develop a bulb. So we can say that the FNJ actually works on root vegetables. And here's the thing, the last 3 parsnips in this row, which in actual fact is where I start watering, those 3, not intentionally, but they've been splashed with the FNJ. And those 3 parsnips have moved ahead of the others, which are at the south end of the bed. Now that could be coincidence, or it could be FNJ, who knows. You can see the parsnip on the middle one quite easily. I've put my fingers down with it alongside the other 2 and I can feel a bulb forming in there. Whether it's forked or not or anything like that, we won't know till we pull it. But they have started forming, what do you call it on a parsnip, the trunk, carrot shaped form, I don't know, but on those 3 there's definitely something underground. Which then leads me onto the next bed, which is bed 4. And this is the other brassica bed, and this is where I've put the swede in, and the swede aren't doing well at all. Certainly not the ones that I planted, which I split last week, but the ones that I'm just giving the water, they seem to be doing better than the ones with the FNJ. So I'm beginning to feel or think that FNJ isn't very good for brassicas. It's probably better for root crops, and I should be trying the comfrey on these. So I should see what comfrey does and I still haven't made any comfrey yet. That's another job. But I would definitely say that the H2O treated are in front. The cabbage in this bed aren't doing so bad neither, but they're getting eaten by slugs and snails, and I should really protect them a bit better. Before I move on to bed 3, and this year I've used this bed just to grow flowers, which are calendula, or a form of marigold, and they're all self-seeded, and even the poppies they've blown across from a neighbour's plot. But I like poppies, and the colours are quite vibrant, so that's okay for there. And then we can now move on to bed 2. Bed 2 is a disaster plot. It's what I intended to grow my peas. I planted peas out, twice I've planted peas out, and the birds and the mice have just attacked them. I'm putting them out too early. I must make them a bit more substantial. We'll see. Which then takes us onto bed 1, which is my other brassica bed. And that's doing reasonably well, but fortunately all the cauliflower are blown, and in particular that one that I showed last week, which I covered over, that's completely blown, and these are just write-offs. Oh, and not forgetting, I've got some peas in the gutter, which really, that was another waste of time. I've really lost heart with peas, but I should really give peas a chance. And that's the end of the tour. Well, there we are. It's taken longer than what I anticipated. I don't really know what you think about it. Comments will be welcome. I'm not sure about the makeup, but at least I just showed the plot tour, and well, there we are. That's the end of this week's upload. Comments, I would be anxious to read. I really would like to see what you think of the makeup of this episode. But if you liked it, then thumbs up would be appreciated, and if you've not already done so, then please subscribe, and to get further notifications of any uploads, then what I'd like you to do is ring that bell. Okay, and that leaves me just to say, take good care of yourself, and hoping we'll see you next week. So bye.